Biafra, superstars, media.
My people, that how are they? I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you listen to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media. Fellow Biafrans, listeners all across the world, I want to show you a bit of a cultural shock when the media of Nigeria suddenly see the way the free press and the Western world they interact or they relate to government policies. You will see the shock in those that call themselves Nigerians, that America is speaking boldly to expose the ills of the so-called government of Nigeria and their governors, all the politicians. Listen to the way even the news presenters, they had this, this culture shock of seeing a people or seeing a media people speaking with utmost confidence. This is why I told you that in Nigeria, they don't know what is freedom. They don't understand the meaning of freedom of speech and expression. At this point, listen to the program of our sister, Ekpa, where she, laid down what America is saying about Nigerian government and the rest of them. And I will catch one or the two of the journalists in their response to what America has done. Listen attentively and I'll break it down. Watch this.
Well, all right, we'll take another story now. The United States mission in Nigeria on Tuesday highlighted Nigeria's plummeting economy. In a startling post on X, the post referenced various media outlets, including a publication by the Africa Report titled Nigeria's Ruling Class Splashes Billions on Government Houses. The report highlighted how governors lavished billions on building or renovating government houses despite the prevailing economic hardship in the country. It also noted that while President Bola Ahmed Tinubu asked Nigerians to endure the economic hardship resulting from his policies, the governors do not share in the sacrifice. The U.S. mission also shared quotes from transparency and accountability advocacy groups on its official handle, eliciting a flurry of reactions. Let me take the tweet from the U.S. mission. They wrote, while Nigerians are urged to endure economic hardship like labor pains, some governors are splurging billions on new government houses. They posted a link from the Africa Report. They also posted a quote from Budget Nigeria saying Budget warns that instead of funding schools, clinics, or agriculture, leaders prioritize buildings they barely used. And then there's another from Sislak Nigeria saying that there is more money, little accountability, and no priority. Such alleged lack of fiscal responsibility fuels inequality and erodes public trust. With the hashtag Transparency Tuesday. Have you been following U.S. mission? I mean, is this the first time I'm seeing this?
Hold it there. Now, you've seen the way the U.S. mission, they spoke with confidence. There was clarity. And you could tell they were speaking like an institution that respects and upholds freedom of speech. But I want you to see the way the Nigerian media people will now come with a Nigerianness culture where they say, don't talk against your politicians. Be careful what you say about your governor, your president. Be careful. If you speak, they will sanction you. They will sanction the radio station. They will fine us. They will close down the radio station and the rest. That thing is now embedded in their psyche. That it now looks strange and foreign to hear an independent nation within Nigeria, an independent institution of America, speak boldly and speak truth to power. I want you to study, listen to the response of the Nigerian media. How they took that amazing right up. But they now put the Nigerianness of being scared to speak out. This is a very good example of the psychology of Nigerians. Suffering and smiling. Suffering and smiling. Listen, watch their response to what you just heard now. Watch it.
Hashtag transparency they are not holding back. Okay. And I didn't understand why that tweet came out yesterday with the, that hashtag transparency Tuesday, but I'll come to you. Let me take a tweet about a reaction. Some people might agree or disagree with Onyali Kalu, who wrote, "It's deeply concerning that the..."
Hold on. Quickly, they put a tweet of a Biafran man, or probably a criminal that just used style and used an Igbo name there to change the narrative. This is the game they play. Study the game. Understand their psychology. Let's continue. Read the tweet or listen to what she's reading. For the first time now, suddenly, a Biafran man is defending Tinubu and the government. This is the psychology that Nigeria plays to sell that sentiment as if Nigeria is one. But listen. Let's take it back a bit and listen.
Today with the, that hashtag transparency Tuesday, but I'll come to you. Let me take a tweet about a reaction. Some people might agree or disagree with Onyali Kalu, who wrote, "It's deeply concerning that the official social media handle of the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria appears to be amplifying narratives aligned with opposition parties, particularly through the promotion of content that consistently undermines the APC-led federal government and President Tinubu's administration. While we respect the sovereignty of nations and the principles of free speech, it is expected that foreign diplomatic missions operate with neutrality, especially in a sensitive and highly polarized political climate. Any perception of bias, intentional or otherwise, risks compromising the spirit of mutual respect and non-interference that guides international diplomacy. Nigeria's democracy must be left to Nigerians. We welcome constructive engagement from our international partners, but not in a way that could embolden domestic actors bent on destabilization under the guise of political opposition. I mean, that is a thought there. Very beautifully. Do you like that?
Hold on, before you continue. I wonder why our sister OKPE picked up that tweet by a so-called Biafran man, Onyali Kalu, speaking on behalf of the zoo government. I was insulting the diplomatic foreign missions in Nigeria for speaking boldly, speaking as a free entity. You see, I keep saying it, Nigerians don't understand freedom. They don't know what it looks like to be free, to speak the way you're supposed to speak as a human being, not to be gagged. They don't know what it means to say you are speaking truth to power. In Nigeria, they always use that slogan, speak truth to power, call a spade a spade, call a spade a spade. But they don't understand what it means to call a spade a spade. What the American foreign diplomatic mission did was call a spade a spade. They spelled it the way it is. But Nigeria now, they want to spin the narrative. They want to bring that culture, that Nigerian culture, that respect your elders. Old men are your elders. Politicians, you worship them. You adore them. You bow to them. They are always right. They have been made gods on earth. They do no wrong. That's the mentality of those that believe in Nigeria. Now I understand why there is terrorism, tribalism, and the rest of them, and they still feel okay with it. Because they don't reason like human beings. I'm sorry. They don't know what it means to be free. The meaning of freedom, they don't understand it. That's why in the 21st century, they are still discussing cow, how to relate with cow, ruga, ranches. Farmers and herders clash. In the 21st century, where the world, they are pushing, forging towards AI and the rest of them. See the way they use psychology, put a Biafran man named there, Onyali Kalu, who is now advocating for the zoo government. It does not end here. Unfortunately, our sister Mumbai also followed that lane. She was also, speaking in line or in agreement with what the Zoo government are doing. That culture of bowing down to your oppressors. So please, listen to the response of Mumbai, the next speaker or the journalist in the studio there. Listen to what she said. You will now understand the problem in that so-called Nigeria. They are submissive. They have lost hope. Nigerians, the average person that calls himself in Nigeria, they have lost hope. They believe now, say, okay, just pray to God and solve the problem. Don't blame your politicians anymore. Listen to what the journalist will say next, and it will blow your mind. You won't believe it. She even went against, the Americans for speaking the way they spoke. Listen and pay attention. Please, lend me your ears. Listen. Let's go.
Very beautifully expressed. I think it encompasses it all. There's several issues, but I think the main issue, that the biggest takeaway from this is, are we comfortable with any country that is outside of our borders, being this vocal with regards to criticizing a sitting government? I think.
Are we comfortable with any foreign country within our country being this vocal in criticizing a sitting government? Are we comfortable? Comfortability. There is that fear in them. It's more like a culture shock seeing this happen. So she's asking, are we comfortable? Is Nigeria, are Nigerians comfortable to hear the truth? When we called Nigeria a zoo, till this day, people are still angry with us. We told them they are coming to Islamize you. Till this day, they are angry with NNAMDI KANU for telling them the truth and what is happening right now. Are we comfortable listening to foreign countries within Nigeria, that zoo called Nigeria, and speaking truth to power to a sitting government? Are they comfortable? That's a very, you see, they say words, they're like spells. There is a power in the word you use. Are we comfortable? It doesn't mean what they are doing, but they didn't tell lies, though. The main thing is comfortability. Are you comfortable to hear the truth? Do you really want to hear the truth about Nigeria? Do you want to hear the truth of how the world, they perceive Nigeria? Do you want to understand the reason why someone like Donald Trump called Nigeria a shithole country? Are you comfortable enough to understand that? Do you understand, or are you comfortable to hear the truth that Lord David Cameron, the one-time Prime Minister of England or Britain, called Nigeria fantastically corrupt country? Lord David Cameron, are you guys comfortable enough to hear the truth? Because they say the truth is bitter, but every bite of it is sweet. The truth is bitter, but every bite of the truth is sweet. An irony or oxymoron. Bitter sweet, sweet and bitter. Let's take it back a bit. Hear this lady, because you see, you must understand the psychology of those in Nigeria and see the way the average Nigerian reason. Are we comfortable enough to hear the truth? That's what she's saying. It's not about the truth, but are they comfortable enough? Will they panic? Will they have a high blood pressure? Will they have suicidal thoughts to hear the truth about Nigeria? To hear what the politicians are doing to them in Nigeria? Lord have mercy. Ambulance is going through. In Nigeria, if somebody falls down right now, they leave him there to die. They take their phones and they are doing videos. But here in the Western world, in nanoseconds, in less than 2 minutes of dialing 999, calling for ambulance service, they will be there. If it's fire, the fire service will be there in real time. If it's police, they will be there in real time. These are public goods and public services that we enjoy. But are Nigerians comfortable to know that things like this don't exist in that so-called Nigeria? Are they comfortable enough to understand that any country that don't have these basic amenities is a failed state? No road, no food, no shelter, no employment, no health care. Hey! Are they comfortable enough to hear the truth? I want to believe this sister, she played psychology on this one because I believe she's from Zimbabwe. So she's smart and she played the reverse psychology. It's like the man looking and speaking to the person in the mirror. She's probably trying to shine a light on Nigerians to say, hey, are you guys comfortable to hear the truth? You see, when I watch Nigerian media, I feel sympathy for them because I see people that claim they are journalists but they are not free to speak. If you speak a certain way, that same week, you lose your job or they close out your TV station. The police will come to your station and arrest you. I feel sorry for them. So please sit back and relax. Hear what this our sister said. As they call her, our favorite Niger wife. I want to believe she used psychology, a reverse psychology, to shine the light on Nigerians. Are you guys comfortable to hear the truth? Or to taste how truth should sound like? To have the feeling for the first time. Hear the way a free man speaks. Hear the way a free institution speaks. For the first time. Hear the way it sounds like to be free. Are you guys comfortable to hear the truth? Let's take it back and listen again. Very important. Listen.
National partners, but not in a way that could embolden domestic actors bent on destabilization under the guise of political opposition. I mean, that is a thought
we are coming there. Get ready.
Like that. Very beautifully expressed. I think it encompasses it all. There's several issues, but I think the main issue the biggest takeaway from this is, are we comfortable with any country that is outside of our borders, being this vocal with regards to criticizing a sitting government? I think governance, accountability, and all things surrounding are important conversations to have, but they should always be done within the realm of diplomatic. There's a reason why we call it diplomacy, because there's a certain tone that it has to take. And this coming on Twitter, it felt a little bit like an attack. Now, we know that the current American administration, Donald Trump's administration, does do things in a very non-traditional way. However, it is also always important as a diplomat, as a representative of your president and your government, to ensure that you respect the sovereignty of the country where you operate.
No, my sister, you missed it there. It's not about respecting the sovereignty of the country you operate. It is for you to uphold that standard, the American standard, in any country you operate, to be a shining example, a beacon of hope. That standard must be upheld. Don't expect him to hold a high standard in America, then come to that so-called Nigeria and be cowering down and be bowing down. No. Not under Donald Trump. Yes, during the days of Biden, you guys had such people coming to kiss ass. In the days of Obama, they come and they play to the gallery. But no, they have to be upright. Wherever you go, they say you should be a shining example. If you are upright in your country, if they send you to any country to be a diplomatic person or whatever, you must maintain the standard. Don't go to that country and bow down and cower and perform below standard. My sister, in that place, now you feel more. You feel it there. You don't expect them. America, the #1 country of the world, for them to be in Nigeria and they are scared to speak and they are doing politics. Diplomatic means, oh, okay, don't say the truth. That's the difference between we, the Biafrans, living in the Western world compared to those living in Nigeria. You guys, your eyes are still blind. You people, you are still like babies. Nigerians, they are like babies. They're like infants. They worship their politicians. They bow down to their politicians. Your politicians, they hold what they called public service. They are public servants. They are servants to you. They are there to render a service to the public. But you guys, you got it backwards. You worship them. You go into tribalism because of them. You kill your neighbors because of them. Today we are hearing about Charlie Boy bus stop in Lagos. The changing of Charlie Boy bus stop in Lagos. Lord have mercy. Tribalism. To the Yorubas, you claim you are the most educated in Nigeria. But to call a spade, since 1999, I maintained it some months ago when I told you guys this, that there was a certain change since 1999. I was a young person then, a young boy, seeing my uncles, my relatives in Lagos. They were worried for the first time. Because in the civil service in Lagos, suddenly, every Friday used to be their traditional day where they wear their traditional attire, Ishiagu, all those things. But suddenly, from 1999, a certain politician became governor of Lagos. And he came with some foreigners, some intruders, some interlopers. People from different states other than Lagos. They came and they were shocked to see how, the harmony between the Yorubas and the other tribes, not just the Igbos. They were in shock. These guys, they were in shock. Their Baba was in power, so he brought them from all the different states. They came to Lagos, and for the first time, they were in shock, seeing how people were working in harmony. Igbo, Yoruba, everybody was working in harmony. And suddenly, the first thing they did was to stop the so-called traditional attire in the civil service. I started seeing my uncles, they started removing their Ishiagu on Fridays. They were wearing kaftan to blend in the civil service. I don't know what they call it. Is it council job or what they call state council job or whatever they call it? And during those days, in the evening, I will see my uncle and his friends. They will be discussing about work matters. They were saying, guys, it is time for us to change our surname. Or go to court, Ikoyi court. Go swear oath of affidavit, change of surname. Allow your surname to sound a bit Lagosian, because the Lagosians, they have a different surname. If not, they were retrenching them. They were losing their jobs. They couldn't dress up the way they were supposed to dress again in their traditional wears. And if your name sound Igbo, then you lose your job in the Lagos civil service or government job, whatever they call it. The state government job. I was a kid listening to my uncles. You see me, I'm somebody that I love knowledge. I love to sit among my elders so they hear what they are saying. That way I was able to develop myself at a Pareto efficiency level at a very fast pace. I didn't play much with my peers. I was hanging with those who were older than me to learn from them. And every Friday, they were worried. Then go wear kaftan. They go begin laughing. This is the way to survive your job. Oh. They were wearing kaftan. They left their Ishiagu. This change, this trajectory started from 1999. And today we're hearing say Charlie Boy bus stop. A guy from, this is not Bagada there. As a kid, you keep on hearing Charlie Boy bus stop. When you get to that area, the only house where you will see a machine bike mounted at a building. This guy was, a philanthropist. You are going through that bus stop, as a child, seeing that, Harley Davidson bike hung outside. It was inspiring for me. And suddenly, because of tribalism, they've taken away Charlie Boy stop. Charlie Boy bus stop. And now it's now Olamide, Bado, To the Yorubas, you guys claim to be the most educated. Are you guys really ready to hold your politicians accountable? That's the same thing, because you guys say, no, don't put us involved. Don't get us involved. It's the politicians. Don't get us involved. You keep saying that, but are you comfortable enough to have that discussion and address what your politicians, your criminal politicians are doing? Because me, as a child, I saw the change. I saw the cultural change. I saw the assimilation of the culture. People living in Lagos became scared for their life, scared for their job, that they had to change their dress code, their attire, just to blend in. I saw it firsthand because as a kid, I used to love the dressing of the Ishiago. It reminded me of this cartoon called Voltron. Voltron, the 5 lions, black lion, gray Voltron back then. So when I see the Ishiago and I see lots of lion heads, it takes me to Voltron as a child. And every weekend, every Friday, I am happy to see my uncle or his friends coming around the house, and I'm seeing them dressing in that Ishiago. So, that nostalgia was there. I'm always eager to see it. I'll be touching the velvet material of the Ishiago. But suddenly, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, I noticed no more Ishiago over the weekend. I begin to wonder what's going on. And when I paid attention, I heard my brothers, my uncles, relatives, they were comfortable enough to discuss the sudden change in Lagos. So from my own viewpoint, from my own perspective, from my own point of view, from my own view lens, from my own vantage point, Oyibo, I was in shock. Because that change started from 1999, when a certain foreign man became governor of Lagos State and brought in all his thugs, brought in foreigners from the different states. So the problem you see in Lagos is not being done by the Lagosians. No, it's the product, the byproduct from those other states that man brought in. The henchmen of Tintinubu when he was a governor, to call a spade a spade. They are the ones causing this problem, because it was a shock seeing for the first time them seeing Yorubas and Igbos working hand to hand, marrying themselves, eating their food, their amala, ewedu shaki, begiri, ati ewedu oferiro, fuku, we're eating everything, ewa, everything you want to name, we're eating it with the Yorubas. There was love, mutual respect. Even when you are dating girls, then girlfriend, boyfriend, you won't even think, say, one na Yoruba, one na Igbo. No. Playing with girlfriend, boyfriend, you will not think, say, oh, na Igbo girl or na Yoruba girl I want to. No. Equality. We're blind to tribalism until 1999. Quote me wrong. You see me, this is my tongue. I tell truths from this tongue. Put me anywhere. That change in Lagos started from 1999. And today you are seeing the reflection now. The same person has gone to wear your Aso Rock. And you are seeing what's happening now on a macro level. So what this lady said here, it is very, very deep. What she said is very, very deep. Are they comfortable enough to hear a foreign diplomat from another country come to Nigeria and speak in an emboldened manner? Are Nigerians ready for the truth? Or do they want to say, okay, don't insult your elders. Don't talk that way now. No. There is a way to do it now. Don't talk that way. NNAMDI KANU, you are a problem now. You talk too much now. You insult your elders now. Lock him up, Joe. Yes, he said, I beg, just lock him up. He will spoil things for us. Lock him up. You see? I keep on saying, I thank God for Western world. It opened my eyes. Western world opened my eyes. For the first time, I was surprised seeing how things were. For the first time in my life. I said, You are working for your boss. And when you see him, the main boss is coming. My very first job in the Western world. In that zoo, the zoo virus has spoiled me. When you see the boss, you bow down and say, boss, boss. Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Okay, boss. You dobale, as they say in the Yoruba land. You dobale and say, boss, boss, boss. And suddenly, that culture of boss, 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 boss. Yes, boss. Yes, boss. It almost cost me my first job. I almost lost my first job in the Western world. Why? Because when the main boss is coming, I had my Nigerian brain. I was thinking, to be in the good books of the owner of the company, you should be calling him boss, 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 boss. The first few days I was saying, hi boss, it's me. I'm new in this job, boss, boss, yes, boss. I will do my best, boss, I'm loving it here, boss, boss. He just laughed and, how are you? He left. The following day again, boss, 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 boss. The third day he called me and said, hey, my name is John. Don't call me boss anymore. I thought he was joking. I said, this one I want to trick me. You want me to call you John so that you will not sack me. For where? The following week. Good morning, boss. Hello, boss. Hey! This man come back, so. This man looked at me. He didn't say hi to me. He went into his office and suddenly the secretary pulled me in. And I was, I was warned never to call him boss anymore. That the next time I do that, they will see it as a way of assault or caricature, and I'll be sent off that company. I went back home a broken man. I said, but in Nigeria, I'll be well favored by calling my employer boss, 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 by calling the manager boss, by calling the CEO boss, 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 yes, boss, yes, boss. I'll be well favored all this while. But now in the Western world, I'm about to lose my job for calling somebody boss. So I became careful because naturally you want to say boss by mistake. So for the first 6 months, I was wrestling with my mouth and my brain because the brain operates in nanoseconds. You can say things spontaneously without even knowing you've said it. So I was traumatized for 6 good months, trying my best not to talk. When the boss is coming, I want to look somewhere else. I am scared to say boss. And he noticed it. He noticed it. So he said, wow, are you telling me in your country this is what you guys do? I said, yes. Yes, this is what we do. We can't even look at you in the face when you are coming. We have to bow down. So, oh my God. That's a very backward way of doing things. You're a human being like me. It's just a job role. Okay? It's just a job role, you know, because then how will you, you know, perform if you're with your colleagues and you're doing that? He couldn't understand it. So I tried my best. I tried my best not to communicate. Man, that virus of Nigeria, my God. So are you guys comfortable enough to hear the truth? Are you guys comfortable enough to hear somebody from the first country of the world, America, without no compromise, come to Nigeria as a diplomat and speak the normal way they speak in America? Because to him, he's speaking the normal way. Except you want to tell him, hey, no, when you come here, you have to lower your standards. Feel free, don't attack us. Come and join the party. It's very, very sad. It's damning. I'm saying all this to make Nigerians, those that say they believe in Nigeria, God bless Nigeria, they believe in your police, they believe in their government, they believe in the military. Nigeria go better. Those who are saying pray for Nigeria in distress. I want you guys to start understanding that Nigeria is an abnormal country, an unusual country, where those you should be holding accountable are those you are worshiping. A politician, the money they are spending are known as what? The public money. The money belongs to you. But you guys don't see that. You worship them, you bow down to them, you kill for them. You become a tribal bigot for your politicians. And I wonder what's really going on. Let's continue because of time. Let's continue. Listen.
What this does is it amplifies other conversations that are taking place. What are these conversations? African governments are consistently, not just African, developing country governments are consistently accusing some of these global superpowers of interfering, of instigating regime change, of doing what we call color revolutions, which is when they get involved with various NGOs and sectors of opposition to destabilize the nation. So that is of huge concern. And it also follows, if you remember, around Democracy Day, there was also a communique that was issued around freedom of speech and so forth, which embodied the rest of the diplomatic corps. At least the tone of that particular message had been more around the realms of the rule of law. But this one really felt extremely charged and opinionated. Is it true? Yes. The governors are enjoying a largesse as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy. FAC allocations have gone sky high and they're enjoying that. And we're not seeing a lot of developmental initiatives from it. It's correct. However, this is not how we would expect a diplomatic mission to comment on the politics of the day. Diplomatic
That is it. This is not how, it is true, but this is not how we expect them to comment. What you said is truth, but this is not how we expect you to comment on it. There is a way we do it in Nigeria. You know, there's a peculiar way we handle things in Nigeria. So when you come to Nigeria, sir, don't worry. You don't have to say anything. Just relax and go down there. At the end, we give you what they call a brown envelope, sir. There is a way we handle it, sir. Don't speak that way anymore. What he said is truth, but there is a way, the Nigerian way, the slavery mentality way. They worship your politicians' way. They bow down to your politicians' way. They pretend as if you don't know the Fulani Cabal, they are coming to Islamize you way. Pretend as if Ruga is not a leeway to come and take over your land way. Pretend as if you don't know this man is an old man. Use a fake age to become your politician's way. There's a way they do it. And I keep on wondering, then how can you perform in the League of the Nations where they follow a particular standard? How do you perform in the League of Nations where there's a particular standard to uphold? You see, this is why your sports stars do well, your musicians do well, but your politicians don't do well. Because for your politicians, you've agreed there is a particular way to do it. Don't say that, there is a way we go do. I'm here for this one. But for football, when you're going to World Cup, you are playing with other nations that have trained at a particular standard, the highest standard. You see, so it means you must perform. The way to do it must be the best way. Play football, you must pick the best players in your team to represent you. If not, you don't stand the chance to win anything. Although there is a quota system in Nigeria, there is a way they do it in Nigeria. In music, if the best guys with the talent don't sing, they don't win no awards. You see, only in politics that's they say, hey, don't speak this way, do it in a particular way, the Nigerian way. That's why your economy is down. That's why there is hunger in the land, there is poverty in the land. A particular way you use is bringing you guys down. That's why the most corrupt, oh my God, the worst amongst you are leading the best amongst you. That's the problem. That way you do it, that Nigerian way you do things in-house is the problem. But when we go abroad, when we leave Nigeria, when we go to compete with the world, things start to turn around because we are now given the opportunity to express ourselves, to compete with the best. And then you see the best in us flourish. But in that zoo, when you are in Nigeria, they say there's a particular way to do it. God bless this sister for speaking out. I'm not against her. She's very, very smart. She used psychology to put the picture back to the face of those that believe in Nigeria. Say, yeah, there's a particular way you guys do your thing. So when the man was speaking truth to you guys, it's a shock, a culture shock for someone to come to Nigeria and speak that way. There is a way we do things here. Oh my God, have mercy. Lord have mercy. Let's continue because of time. Listen.
And always supposed to remain non-partisan.
Well said, Vimbai, well said. I mean, talking about some of the comments that they raised, Mission X, I mean, especially with the governors and all of that. Meanwhile, Kaduna State Governor Uba.
Hold on there, my sister. I'm not here to analyze the Zoo media or the Zoo news. I only dabble in once in a while. Go in there, you eat the meat and spit out the bones. I only want to show my people, my viewers, that the reason why Nigeria is the way it is, there is a particular way, a norm, the Nigerian culture, the way they do things. That's why they are the way they are. But when they leave the shores of Nigeria, they excel. But when they're in Nigeria, there's a problem. Think about that. The other time, there was this guy on my Facebook. This was the brightest, the best student when we were in university back in the days. But this guy doesn't have a job now. He was married, he said, but he lost his job for the past 6-7 years. He has gone back to the family home with his wife and children. For 7 years, no job. Hey, God have mercy. The other one was the prefect of our secondary school then. The head boy. In fact, my own, comparing me back then with him, I am less than, my IQ to his own is not the same. He's so wise, so vast, that even when I borrow his notebook, I'll be amazed with his handwriting on the notebook, that I'll want to copy his handwriting style. That boy was the embodiment of knowledge, the prince of knowledge. But today, when I look at Facebook and I see him there, I feel like shedding tears. In fact, I shed tears sometimes. Because this guy is looking rejected, dejected. He's looking like somebody that poverty is his surname. He's living in abject poverty. And I know if and only if that guy can find himself in America, in Europe, even in some Asian countries, he'll be the darling of that country. I know that. Because me, I can't even compare myself with him. When it comes to knowledge, he was the best. All his scores were excellent. But the Nigerian system happened to him. A country where there is no opportunity. I sometimes sneak in, and go and check the Facebook, because whenever I'm there, people are begging me for money. Old classmates. There is no job in that so-called Nigeria. Sometimes, nostalgia. You want to go back and relive those old, the good time as a kid. Those are your best friend, because somehow your primary school friends are your real friends. Your secondary school friends are your real friends. Your friends in university, perhaps they may not be trustworthy, because then you only knew them for 4 years and then you were already wise. So there is some politics involved. But your childhood, nursery school, primary school, secondary school, there is this bond, this affinity you have with them. That sometimes when I feel that nostalgia, I look at myself where I am now, what I have, how I've been able to help myself. Not God blessing me. They say, God don't bless you. No, that's the Nigerian language. What I have done for myself. As I'm appraising myself, looking around me, how well I'm doing. Looking at my business, looking at my finance. Thanking God. Yes, you have to thank God sometimes. But nostalgia will now come for you to look back like the Sankofa bird. I've been telling you guys, do a research on the bird they call Sankofa. A bird that flies. Bird. Or it's a big bird. It's the only bird that when they are enjoying the best of life, they are eating food, there is lots of, they always look back. And the way they do it is in a unique way. Like, oh my God, I'm enjoying this. Let me see where I came from. They will look back. Look. Appreciate where they came from. Then turn back to enjoy where they are. Sankofa bird. Sankofa. Sierra, Apple, November, Kilo, Oscar, Foxtrot, Alpha, Sankofa, Sierra, Alpha, November, Kilo, Oscar, Foxtrot, Alpha, Sankofa bird. Do your research on that bird and allow the principle of the bird to guide who you are. Sometimes when you are doing well, look back. Chiaria. The Biafrans, we have it in our words now. Chiaria, look back. Reminisce, nostalgia, look back. It will make you to understand where you are and appreciate what you have now. And when I look back, sometimes, I go to Facebook and I look the old group association, whatever they call it, the high school, and I look at those classmates, those I used to envy. When I look at them, I say, this one, see Michael, see Chichi, see Kayode, see Funke. If these ones have the chance I have now, they'll be, in fact, they will have their own private yacht. But in Nigeria, they don't have the same opportunity. Nigeria is a crime scene. Nigeria is a failed state. Only the rich steal more money, and have more opportunities. Only the rich have scholarship. Their children come to the Western world on scholarship. Rich people, politicians, their kids are here on scholarship. I'm asking myself, is Nigeria giving out scholarship? What's going on here? But every time I see kids from the north coming down here on scholarship, I repeat, every time I see young kids from the north coming down to the Western world to school on scholarship, and I'm asking myself, so Nigeria still gives out scholarship? But in the Biafra land, nothing like scholarship there. Even in the Yoruba land, nothing like scholarship. Huh? Nostalgia. There is a way they do it in Nigeria. That is what is killing them. Until the people rise up to the standard. Hold your politicians to your standard. Free yourself. Nigeria is a failed country. Free yourself. See what the Biafrans are doing as those who are enlightened amongst you. It is said, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. It means, say, the land where everybody they blind, the one when get one eye, now be their king, because him they see something. See the Biafrans as we having one eye. We have seen Nigeria. We know Nigeria. We understand the psychology of Nigeria. We have seen the trajectory of Nigeria. We know what the cabals are doing about Nigeria. We understand the psychology of the one they call Usman Dan Fodio. We know there are some students that believe in the tenets, the school of thought of Usman Dan Fodio. We understand when they say they're coming with the Ruga, they want to bring their headsmen, their terrorists closer to your village, closer to your community, closer to your land. Once they get the Ruga, it becomes a fort. F-O-R-T. From where they will now spring out their attacks, launch their attacks. They are already within your community. You can't stop them. Ruga is dangerous. I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. To those who still believe in Nigeria, you see also, we the Biafrans, we ain't stupid. We know why we are breaking out. We know why we left you. We know why we are coming to implement Biafra, because we are upholding the standard of the international world. We ain't stupid. We ain't stupid. What we are doing is right. To you guys, you might see us as the problem. You bring tribalism against us. You do tribalism. You burn down our businesses to appease your politicians, to appeal to them. You do all those things. You say, oh, the Igbo is coming to take over Lagos. You know all these years we've been in Lagos. Living with you in harmony. Peace and harmony. Hey, I rest my case. In fact, let the dead bury the dead. We the Biafrans, we are gone. For those who don't want to listen, for those who don't want to hear word, for those who are saying there is a way we should do it, there is a way we should handle it. Keep on doing your Nigerian culture while the whole world leave you and move. Keep on doing it. Today now, Nagana they say Nigeria must go. Today Nagana they say Nigeria must go. Keep on doing that same thing you are doing. Keep on appreciating mediocrity. And at the end, you only have yourself to blame. I rest my case. Grand opening, grand closing. Thank you. May God bless you. And may God bless Biafra. Thank you. Yeah. Check me out. Superstars Media. Lord Lugard, Bloomington, Lord Lugard, and it's wild Flora show. 1914 amalgamation is what we dying for. 3 nations to 1 nation, ever since annihilation. Nepotism is nonsense. You and you, clap your hands. Biafra gonna come, clap your hands. Biafra, Odudua, we're free now. Freedom is gonna come, we're free now. Yeah.